I would like to call to order the board meeting for the Batavia Park Board of Commissioners for October 17th at 7:01. Would you like you call the roll, please?
Riley absent. Dorsey?
Here.
Tillman?
Here.
Gray? Here. Callahan?
Here. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Any items to be added, removed, or changed on the agenda?
There are not.
All right. So then I would entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda as follows. Approval of the meeting minutes for the special board meeting of September 10th. Approval of the meeting minutes for the executive session of September 10th. Approval of the meeting minutes for the regular board meeting of September 19th. Approval of the paid expenditures, expense report, approval report, investment summary, income statement, purchases, and ordinance number 369, declaration of surplus properties.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Tillman, second by Gray. Any further discussion? Please call the roll.
Tillman?
Aye.
Gray? Aye. Riley absent. Dorsey?
Aye.
Callahan?
Aye, motion carries. So I'll entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda as established.
So moved.
Second.
Oh, you got
I was waiting. We need
Motion by
buzzers.
Tillman, second by Gray. All those in favor, signify by
Aye.
saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, next item is matters from the commissioners. Anyone wish to address or say anything tonight? It's not
Got nothing.
compulsory, just.
Got nothing.
Got nothing, okay. All right, so correspondence, I want to acknowledge two pieces of correspondence. A letter from Padurma, along with a check of $3,000 for successful participation in Starfish Aquatics
These are good
lifeguard
correspondence.
risk management audits for 2017 summer season, so congratulations to the rec department and all the staff at the quarry. And also, number two, a letter from Georgino Dwyer of the Batavia Historical Society thanking the Park District for completing and installing the depot expansion signage. So wonderful, put those on record. Next item on the agenda is our favorite, announcements.
I'm glad to hear that. All right. Was that wind blowing in the trees, or is there someone behind you? Swimming season has ended, but that doesn't mean all is quiet at the quarry. Face your fears and experience the nightmares that await you. Head down on Saturday, October 21st from 7 to 9 p.m. for Haunted Quarry located at 400 South Water Street. Admission is $8, and this event is not suitable for kids under 10 years old. And families will experience a frightfully good time at Bat Fest on Saturday, October 28th at the Riverwalk in downtown Batavia. Participate in trick-or-treating, games, hayrides, and more. Bat Fest is presented by Batavia Main Street in cooperation with the Batavia Park District and the Batavia Mothers Club. The Park District will be offering free hayrides from noon to 2 p.m. with a food or monetary donation to the Batavia Interfaith Food Pantry. You can visit downtownbatavia.com for more details. And it's not too early to start thinking about the holidays. So if you or someone you know is a crafty individual, consider being a part of the 3rd annual Holiday Craft Market at this year's Celebration of Lights Festival on Sunday, November 26th. You can contact me, Katie Drum, at katyd@bataviaparks.org if you would like an application or if you'd like more details. The fee is just $30 to participate. And speaking of Celebration of Lights, we have expanded the schedule of events this year to include the new Light Up the Caboose fundraiser at the Depot Museum. The bulbs are just $10 each or 3 for $25. You can visit bataviaparks.org for the full festival schedule, or you can visit the bataviahistoricalsociety.org website to learn more about the fundraising efforts for the Depot Museum expansion project. And as always, you can give us a call at 630-879-5235. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, next item on the agenda is staff report. So any supplemental information you'd like to share with the board staff?
I would like to start, and in place of our Museum Director Jennifer Fitzgerald would like to let you know that the Second Fridays program that she's been participating in has really been quite nice. This past Friday, we had 44 visitors through the museum in the 7 to 9 time period, or 6 to 9 time period, which is the best so far this year.
Wow.
During those evenings, and they are very, very pleased down there
That's terrific.
at the attendance. So, yeah, it's been a real good thing for us.
Actually, good timing too, because of the weather. I mean, you know,
Yep.
people out more in the evenings because it's
Yep.
warmer. That's terrific. Thank you for sharing that.
Well, I think staff is happy. We're pretty much done drafting the department budget requests. I want to thank everybody.
Do it all over again.
They did a great job getting it all down on paper and then putting up with me through multiple stages of review. So everyone did a really great job. And I'm very excited to present that to you next Tuesday at 6 p.m. at the board budget retreat at the Lodge. And I think it's a very exciting budget, even though people shouldn't be getting excited about budgets. But
Some
I think
people
everyone
are.
did a
They're
great
balanced,
job.
we like it.
Some people are excited because it says you rock right here.
It's an exciting budget, so we're very pleased with it. And on the lighter side, Tyler Technologies reached out to Tammy and myself to review one of their new products. Really excited about this. It's called Encode Express. They're developing it. It's a web-based dashboard, and it sort of shows that they see us as a priority customer, and hopefully we'll use this as a way to get in as an early adopter for the new platform. So really excited about it.
Terrific.
A lot of excitement in the finance department.
Who has been for a while. Nice job, brother. Just a quick update on the pedestrian bridge, which we have deemed the Peace Bridge in Batavia. We have ongoing maintenance where we replace boards, and we're making our fall push to go through that. So in the next week or so, we will be working, replacing boards. We don't close the bridge down during that time. We kind of halt traffic while we take one out, slide one in, and then work on fastening it. We got our shipment in, and our trades crew leader will be taking lead on that, and we anticipate it taking about 4 days to complete the number of boards that we have to do.
And these are not boards, they're sawn timbers.
Yes, yes,
Thick sawn timbers.
yes, that is correct. They're fully engineered structural timber. So,
Thanks, sir.
I brought my report, so I know she has her own little line. So we have upgraded the stereo system at Shannon Hall. It's all ready to go. So yay for that. The mom and son wagon rides were both full. It was a great night. We got the last one in right before the rain started to come down, so that was nice. And then Haunted Quarry this Saturday. Yay. It's going to be fun. It's going to be a beautiful night. Eric has promised me great weather, so we are ready to go. It's going to be fantastic. Got that out there? Eric has promised us great weather. Thank you.
I'll try as hard as I can, man, I will.
So I'm very excited to announce that the Park District is starting to work with the Batavia Fire Department to start promoting our events and programs on the digital marquees that are located on Wilson and Main Street. So a little extra signage in the community for us.
Saw that.
And then also, the marketing department has been working closely with the recreation department. We are going to be offering resident rates now to anyone that works in Batavia. So if they'd like to come participate in a fitness program, either before or after work or during the lunchtime session, we're going to offer them resident rate fees. And then also we're doing a little promotion where we're giving away some free 5-punch fitness passes to all the Batavia businesses. So we're working with the Batavia Chamber to get the word out. And then we're also going to be going on foot this Friday to all of the businesses in Batavia. So it might take us about half a day.
For comfortable shoes.
Yeah, but it'll be a good way to interact with our fellow businesses. So I'm excited about that program. And then other than that, we've been working on gearing up for all our holiday promotions. We've got 23 of the 25 Celebration of Lights Christmas trees spoken for. So just a reminder that you can start voting on November 20th on Facebook for your favorite tree, just since that's before our next board meeting, in case you guys want to participate in that. And then we also have half of our vendor booth spaces spoken for the holiday craft market, also at the Celebration of Lights Festival. So, yeah, that's all I got.
Terrific.
I'm glad you mentioned the fire department, because I saw that the other day. I was going to bring that up. Yeah, it's really neat. It's good stuff.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah.
I do have to say this to you. So I was driving down Wilson, and I always read the signs at the East Side Center, whoever puts up and they're always very clever. But it was an audible laugh when I drove by the one that's up right now, which is, do you know what it is? Everybody know what it is?
The one at the east side?
The one at the East Side, which says, "Sweat is your fat crying."
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it was an audible laugh.
yeah,
I mean, I
okay.
was just busting up. I thought it was great.
I have to say, I have to give credit to Sharon Bringelson. She's our marketing coordinator. That is completely 100% her
Hysterical.
brainchild.
Perfect.
That's good
I mean,
stuff.
caught my
So-
attention, got me, yeah, it was really
Good.
good.
I'm glad to hear that. Yeah,
Yeah.
she does an awesome job.
And
So-
she really works hard because she's got 4 sites.
Yeah.
She does different.
Exactly.
yeah, well, and
things.
now we have 6 in a way. Because
With the fire department.
The two
she'll
fire
be
departments.
submitting all the messages for the fire department one as well.
Well,
so.
kudos on that one, that was great.
Well, I don't know
Really
if,
funny.
I think they have one message though, so, nope. But yeah.
All right, thanks for
Thank
the
you.
additional information. Board, any comments on staff reports? Okay, next item on the agenda is presentations. Technology update. Who's taking this one?
Yes. We have Jeremy Ramirez here from Aspera Government Systems. And as you know, Aspera was recently selected by the Technology Committee. Aaron's the chair for the Technology Committee. And Aaron and his team and I were a part of the review process. We had a dozen vendors that wanted to partner with the Park District, and Aspera was selected. And as a part of the interview process, Jeremy had said that he would like to come before the board and really just kind of give a State of the Union address in terms of where we're at with technology in the Park District.
Sure.
And have at it.
Welcome.
Thank you. Good evening, Commissioners. As Allison mentioned, with some of our other districts, do like to give an annual update to our commissioners, let them know where their tax dollars are being spent and how they're being spent, especially with technology being a cost center and not a revenue generator in all of these, in these districts. So within the months that we've been here, we completed a good amount of discovery within the environment, trying to get caught up, find the holes, get operations figured out, and complete an immediate needs assessment. During that needs assessment, we did discover that we needed to shore up some of the documentation that the district had, updates to your core system being RecTrack, which operates your web registration, your point of sale, everything here in the district. Some of the items that were troubling the district operations at the time, as well as some open items such as PEG bond Wi-Fi being one of the large items in a sore spot. That being said, PEG bond was an immediate item that we did take a look at along with RecTrack, especially with the quarry being in full swing as we were taking over and working through some of the bugs and operations there. PEG bond Wi-Fi we re-engineered, and since re-engineering and re-implementing some of the Wi-Fi that's down there has not been a sore spot, we haven't had any complaints to the operations down there since. Also completed a environmental review, and within that environment review, we've had to do some cleanup. In some of the audits, we found that there were a number of user accounts for staff that were no longer here that were still active and enabled. A lot of old user data that was still running in the cloud and on the Google, within the Google applications email that were still running that we went back, migrated, disabled, freed up a lot of licenses, thus saving some costs for new users, as well as a number of software updates that were completed, items within the district, some of the GIS software that you're operating, RecTrack again, your finance software, Encode was all updated. We continue to keep up and keep track of what update revisions are out there for various softwares, make sure that we get those patches out there as soon as they're available. Our on-site staff is here during the week. They've been keeping up with the day-to-day ticket items, trouble tickets that come in. Operationally, things have been very good. We've had a lot of positive feedback from staff regarding outages or lack thereof. So in a sense, no news is good news in the IT world, and I think someone on the board can appreciate that. And in some of that downtime, also going back and shoring up some of that documentation or lack thereof, so that should we need it or some sort of incident happen, we've got a playbook to run back to, and we can refer to that documentation, as well as the procedures that are in place to operate a number of these systems. Speaking of policies and procedures, we did recently, in conjunction with Finance Director Aaron, we did review and look at security policies and procedures within the district and an implementation plan. We looked at the environment, started seeing that there was no password complexity or aging. In this day and age, we all know that easy passwords are easily hackable, especially when we use a lot of cloud applications here in the district. So we rolled out a new aging and password policy or procedure within the district. And then we've also started reviewing general infrastructure security, going back and looking at the various devices, firewalls, make sure that those are all patched and up to date. And we've been working through those as we find them. Another item that'll be on your agenda tonight refers to cyber liability and the policy procedure related to that. That ties into some other needs that we're going to be working, myself and Aaron will be working on as time goes on. This is just a starter framework, and what we'll start doing is looking at some of the other policies, procedures within the district, acceptable use policy, and taking a look at what's in the current, or what you have in place already, and reviewing that to what's industry best practice and what other districts are doing as far as not only cyber liability, but IT policies and use policies throughout the district. We will be, come spring, reviewing some of the Quarry Park connectivity options. That has been a sore spot both for telephones and for the network down there. I won't get too much into it because it's very preliminary, but there's another vendor that's going to be, or another large cable vendor that's looking to come into town that I'm working with in another municipality that might be able to provide us some relief or some connectivity options down there at an economical price. So as we get more information on that, I'm sure staff will pass that along in their regular staff reports. Beginning January 1, we'll be in a new computer replacement cycle, so we'll be prioritizing those a little bit later this year. And then come January 1, we'll start deployment on those most critical and phasing the rest of those in throughout the year. We're also going to be continuing to review the backup procedures. There are already procedures in place for backups of district data, but we're going to do some further review and also review the off-site rotations of those, making sure that data is off-sited and tested to make sure that those backups are viable later. Also, come January 1, we're going to be placing a new antivirus, anti-malware software in place that'll phase out a product that's currently in use. There's one product that's currently in place now that you're paying a subscription fee on. We've phased out all but one, brought them over to our platform, and we'll carry that on our as a cost to us through the rest of the year until we're able to get to January 1 and eliminate some of those unnecessary costs that we have now. I'd be happy to share that product offline with any of you folks after the meeting or by email. And then also reviewing some access control proposals with the finance department that are looking to be installed both here at the Civic Center and the Peg Bond Center. I've actually already had a chance to review those proposals, and we'll be making a recommendation to the finance director as to my opinions and thoughts on those proposals, and then what he gets from staff and their recommendations, which I'm sure be passed on to you. As mentioned, we're continuing to evaluate. We've found some other areas that we need to improve upon, some redundancies that we can tie in without adding additional costs to you, some additional server work that in some of our downtime we'll be able to add in. That'll be part of our budgeted time, and we continue to evaluate the environment as staff needs come up or as we find any issues or potential issues, especially in the IT world. So with that, I will open it up to any questions you may have.
Well, I don't necessarily have questions, but at the beginning, you talked about technology being not necessarily a revenue generator. I completely challenge that. It's the more technology we embrace, the more revenue we can generate. And keep in mind, revenue is not just always money coming in, it's productivity. So the more we embrace the technology that's out there and keep upgrading our systems and keep embracing the technology, the more productive people get, the more things we can push out to our constituents and say, hey, this is an easier way to register, so forth. It's all technology.
Could I speak to that real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
Actually, we just purchased what's called Mobile Web Track. It was budgeted for in 2017. We hope to have it installed in the next month or two. But essentially, it allows registers, or potential customers to register on their mobile device now, making it easier
To your
Perfect,
point.
exactly. I mean,
Yeah.
the tablets that we have, everything, technology today, when I started in technology, it was definitely not a revenue generator. But today, it is a way to generate revenue, and a lot of it, and if you embrace it properly. So those kind of things, the tablets that we have out there to help people register.
And really
all the different upgrades, direct track, and all that kind of stuff is a way that, I don't know a single department that can't benefit from upgrades in technology.
And I think one of the greatest things was when Ispera hit the ground running, we were having lots of rec track issues, and that reflects directly to the customer. We were having issues with the credit card readers, with the cameras, and we were behind on updates. And because of their experience, they came in right away, fixed those issues off the bat, and our implementation to the newest update 3.1 was corrected, fixed. And I got to thank you guys. I think you're doing a great job.
Thank you, Ed. And I love
Yeah.
your perception of technology. It's
Yeah.
a great tool, and I wish that
Just
that
run
was
with that.
shared.
Run with that. Just make suggestions, and where we can see that, this is no longer necessarily a cash hole, that this is something that can generate revenue for us, either, like I say, productivity-wise or actual revenue, we need to discuss that.
It's an investment. I
Yeah,
see
definitely.
technology being a lot like marketing. Sometimes you have to spend money to make money.
Exactly.
Well, I appreciate the thorough report. I think that it's good to have someone get their eyes on everything. In my business, technology is one of those things you have to seek out and find the best technology for a particular application, and oftentimes you're looking for one and you find something else. But if you're not actively looking for it, as John mentioned, if you're not actively looking for it, seeking those things out, it's great to have a professional who can say, hey, you guys are doing it this way, but, there's this other technology out there, this other software out there. To make suggestions, to become really, while an outside consultant, really part of the team, because that's the one thing I think that we have to continue to augment here, is where we don't have the individuals with experience, deep experience in facets. We've always done a very good job of seeking it out, and it's great to have a good partner here, so I appreciate your opportunity.
Exactly.
To your point, we finally have that thought partner.
Yeah, great.
I have a quick question. Some of the things you were talking about, like the security and deleting the old users, password, all of those kind of technology things. Are there not like PDERMA rules and best practices on those kind of things? Or is that everyone's kind of on their own for that? That's part you, part Allison, Aaron. I don't know.
Yeah,
PDERMA has, and I have gone through audits, both while as an employee of a park district and
Okay.
also working with other park districts. I have gone through with the auditors, backup policies, procedures.
Okay.
And now more and more PDERMA is becoming more aware, for example, like with the cyber liability policies. They're becoming more security-minded, so more of these items are becoming part of their audits. They weren't so much 10, 11 years ago,
Right.
as much as they are becoming now.
Okay.
I am surprised that aging passwords isn't part of all that, that we're just now embracing that, but I'm glad we're bringing that on and making people.
It's a best practice everywhere else.
100%, yeah.
Well, thank you very much.
All right, thank you.
Appreciate you coming out tonight.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jeremy.
Next item on the agenda is the executive director's report.
All right. Well, I will make this very succinct. I do promise. Although Aaron has the key to my presentation at the palm of his hand.
Are you guys waiting for me?
No, we're
fine.
Sorry about
We got all night.
I can find a song and dance.
Let's,
And that was not our part, resource stimulants. All right, so we're ready. I don't have my clicker tonight, so I'll just give you the, had it. All right, for those of you watching at home, you may have received a postcard in the mail. There are postcards mailed to every single Batavia Park District household within our district that is a part of a single-family home. So everyone should receive a postcard, and there's a PIN number, and that PIN number is unique. And so that PIN number makes sure that we don't get duplicate people or the same person doing duplicate entries of the community needs assessment. So it's really important. I encourage you to please complete the online portal. There are residents who will receive a hard copy of the community needs assessment, and but they're randomly selected. So certainly if you received that postcard, which most of you at home did, just go to the online portal. If you have questions, there's a phone number that you can call. It's an 847 phone number. It's our company, Acuity Research and Insights, that will answer any questions that you may have. They also have been doing telephone appointments as well. There are some people that have physical disabilities. You know, one person was blind. They needed help with the survey. We've had other people that are calling just to set up phone interviews, just because they want to have somebody to talk to interact with. So it's been going really well. So far as of a week ago today, we had 220 respondents.
Great.
So yeah, so thank you for those of you that have already participated. As Erin had mentioned, that we've been working nonstop on the budget. So next Tuesday, we'll have a special board meeting at 6 o'clock to give a very high-level report on the operating budget for 2018. So we will give you the materials electronically ahead of time so you can review them. But if any of you would like a hard copy, please let Shelley know, and then she can, yeah, I can tell John's having a seizure. No hard copy. If you would like a few limbs of a tree, we can provide that for you. Save the trees. But otherwise, we will be providing dinner because that will be a little bit later meeting. We will have an executive session that night as well. So that starts at 6 o'clock. All right. We do have the Light Up the Caboose fundraiser, sponsored by the Batavia Historical Society. This is for the Depot Museum expansion project. And so you can purchase a bulb, and the bulbs kind of have been decorated inside the museum every time one is purchased, much like Chili's restaurant does with the chili peppers. So people can decorate and color their bulbs as they see fit. So we encourage you, $10 for one bulb, $25 for 3. Also at the Depot Museum, we had a special program called I Dig Batavia History, and it was an archaeology program where the kids were able to bring items from home, and staff had buried them in the sandbox that was created just for this program by our wonderful facility trades leader, Nick. And then the kids, as you can see in the far right, were able to dig up those items, and they could talk about them and write about them. And there were a couple other goodies that were thrown in there as little bonus prizes for them. Mom and Son Wagon Rides, this event 10 years ago was really hurting on attendance. Daddy-daughter date night was always the big hoorah, and in the last 3 years, ever since Brittany Bruno has been our special events coordinator and aquatic supervisor, everything she touches turns to gold. We've been selling out. So we actually sold out both nights that we had this event. And it has s'mores, pumpkin painting, wagon rides. It's wonderful. And just one more picture to show with it. You see a lot of this happening at that event, and it's just a great festive time of the year and a wonderful, wonderful event. Great job, Brittany. Okay, you're probably wondering, who is the mayor standing with? Well, these are people from 3 class reunions, class of 52, class of 57, class of 62, and class of 67. And so Jimmy B and I had met the folks from the class reunions at Memorial Park and gave a little history about Memorial Park and what we've done there in the last, since they've been here, the last 40, 50 years. And then we took them down to the Hull Quarry Beach. We opened up the quarry. They were able to talk about childhood memories, and then they also visited the East Side Center as well. But it was a great time for a lot of these folks, and 25% of them still live in town, which was pretty neat.
Yeah, that's great.
Right. And they were in school before there was even a park district. So you were asking a lot of questions about, okay, so did you take over the huddle in the basement? What is that? Where is that now? Speaking of the quarry, we had the Fall Quarry Cleanup Day. Eric Locker and his crew orchestrate this event, and with the 4th and 5th graders from HC Storm School. And as you can tell, this is actually what all of the kids came up with. This is the debris that they found from raking and combing the beach. But it's a great event. We actually have a lot of people that are, you can see, taking pictures up at the fence of their kids down there. They're trying not to spy. But
I gotta figure out what the most interesting thing you've ever found in that sand is. Just give it some thought.
NC-17.
Yeah. You can email that to me later in a private thing.
interesting.
Because it looks
about
like
entertaining?
It looks like there's a lot of good stuff in that pile.
You could actually blend the archaeology program.
With that one, yeah.
Right? Have all the kids with their shovels.
Unicycle?
Unicycle was probably the most
Really?
successful.
It was buried in the sand, or just left there?
It was in the diving well.
Huh. I'll check that for now.
Jim, I think you suggest to Jennifer at the museum that she combine her archaeology program
Yeah.
with
We go down there,
quarry.
but yeah. Yeah.
Next. And last but not least, speaking of the quarry, we have this Saturday, it's our last haunted quarry. And we did get rained out last week, so hopefully we're flooded with people.
Okay. I see what you did there.
So, and we do have dollar admission coupons everywhere that marketing could think of. So would love to have the board show up if you could, if you dare. Show up if you dare. Bring the fam. And that's a wrap.
Great.
Thank you.
Any questions for Allison? Thank you. So next item on the agenda is 13A, old business, capital development progress report.
And it will be relatively short. We really only have 3 active project items going on. I was informed yesterday that the 2 new rooftop units for the gymnasium here at the Civic Center were expected to be delivered to the contractor. Or I'm sorry, this morning. I did not hear from him today, so I'm going to contact him. Those are tentative discussions to install. And the HVAC work at Shannon Hall will take place in the earlier part of November. It's a combination project, but we don't have any issues with displacing programs because that's all in the basement and it's air conditioning, so we're not going to be using it yet. So, second thing up is our East Side Center playground. We have a meeting tomorrow with the consultant from Upland Design. We're going to be looking at the new concepts for that playground that we're proposing for the west side of the East Side Center building. And then the third is our East Side Center parking lot. We're awaiting word. That's not working? Huh. Thank you, sound tech guy. The parking lot, we're awaiting word from ERA, our engineering consultants, on a meeting date so that they can present to us a hybrid option 3 that took all of your comments from the presentation with John Green a couple months ago, as well as all the comments that came from the City of Batavia staff, and are combining those, and we're going to see what that newest design looks like. So we're kind of excited to see what they're going to come up with. And again, we will be sharing that with you in the next month. So
Great.
keep our fingers crossed. Thank you. That's it.
Okay. Next item on the agenda is 13B, administrative policy discussion. So this is our second reading.
Yep.
Does anybody have any comments or changes, or should we go ahead with the approval?
You don't have anything.
Okay, so I entertain a motion to approve policy, or administrative policy manual, section 3.22, online commerce privacy and cyber liability policy, as presented.
So moved.
Motion by Tillman. Okay, so we will have any further discussion? Sorry, I got distracted. Dorsey was second. Do we have any further discussion? Please call the roll.
Tillman.
Aye.
Dorsey.
Aye.
Riley absent. Gray.
Aye.
Callahan.
Aye, motion carries.
Great, thank you. I feel like we could have the biggest stamp of all with John
Yeah.
specializing in IT.
Looked
Thank
fine.
you.
Yeah.
Good to go. Okay, next item on the agenda is 14A, Annual Operations Report, Hall Corey Beach 2017 season.
Yes. So here tonight we have Brittany Bruno leading off the report. Not only is she our special events supervisor, but she's also our aquatic supervisor. And also in the report, Katie Drum will follow up with the marketing aspects. And Dean Hoskin will jump in as he sees fit.
Good evening, everyone. Before I get started, I wanted to thank everyone in this room and many others that are not here for helping with the Corey season being such success. Without them, the Corey staff and myself would not be able to do it. This season, the Corey opened on May 27th and closed on August 13th. This season, we started a new 11:30 start time for season pass holders, which was a good success. It was a time for season pass holders to come in and grab seats and kind of get in before the public could, before camps and everyone else. Prices for admission stayed the same at $8 for residents and $11 for non-residents. This year we hosted 13 private rentals, 3 teen nights, and 16 deck rentals, which is 5 more than last year. It was a great success. We continue to do Aloha Week. Corey season pass holders are asking for, recommending more chairs to keep the new early start time and a variety of concession food. This year we hosted 3 events, the Wacky Water Olympics, Beach Ball Bonanza, and Rock the Corey. Each one was a great success with camp goers and everyone else that came. Let's see, the Corey sold 2,315 season passes this year. Almost 50% of our sales were from Aloha Week. Aloha Week was a flash sale 1 week from Monday through a Saturday. The total season passes that we sold through Aloha Week was 1,154 passes. This year we also added a mid-season pass. This pass started on sale on July 5th, and we sold about 42 passes, and we're wanting to continue this again next year for people who are looking to start later in the season. Season pass sales were a total of $92,510 compared to last year's $68,420. This year in daily admissions, we earned $157,340. This was lower than last year's $184,350. This was because of so many Aloha passes being sold this year. The Corey was employed by 60 seasonal staff with 28 returning staff members and 32 new faces. We had 2 new managers this year, Eric Haverkate and Colin Thurston, as well as Johnny and Skylar returning as managers. The managers took great leadership in training new staff. We had a lot of them this year. Starfish Aquatics made 3 visits over the summer, our first one being on June 13th. We received our first 5-star rating again, continuing from last year. I want to read a comment from one of our auditors. This is from Tim. He said, "This organization has an outstanding workplace culture of high expectations to train in the highest standards in SGE. This was seen all day at this facility. Paperwork was organized and easy to access in the manager's office. The documentation of in-service training and attempt to train lifeguards to the highest standard was seen when conducting this audit. It was nice to see an organization provide multiple skilled managers on duty at a big waterfront facility. Customer service and safety of guests were seen various times throughout the day. There was no delay in care or customer service, and staffing levels were great on a hot and busy day. Overall, great audit. On July 6th was our second audit, which we received a 4-star audit. The guards excelled in skills and received an overall 5 in this category. Our last audit was on August 10th, and we received another 5-star, so it was a great way to end the season. Swim lesson enrollment was up from 2016. We programmed for 204 participants and revenue of $6,981. 2017 was a success, and I'm privileged to be a supervisor of such young adults that are willing and ready to save lives. The Corey staff's always looking to improve and ready to make next year the best one yet. Now I'd like to have Katie give the marketing report for the Corey.
Thank you, Brittany. Shelly, do you mind turning the lights off a little bit? Aaron Gold's going to be my Vanna White for this portion of the presentation. He's ready. I can't echo enough of what Brittany said. Brittany and her team do an excellent job of managing the quarry, and so I think it was a really excellent year. So some of the highlights I want to share with you today is some of the goals that we succeeded with this year, namely being our finally getting to shoot our 360-degree virtual tour, which we've been wanting to do for a few years. And so we finally got to do this. We had planned on doing it before we opened. Of course, during weather and preparation, it was unable to happen. We lucked out and were able to do it right after we closed. Well, kind of like the last week we were open, technically. So we were still open. So Brittany's team was a huge help. But a huge thank you to Fox Valley Virtual Tours for shooting this tour. And there are definitely some unique aspects of this tour. So one of them being is there's actually 3 levels in this tour. So Aaron's going to show. So we have some levels off the diving towers. And so you can actually get the whole sort of expansive views that are available at the quarry, and you can kind of get the sort of tummy tickle that you might get over when you look over the edge, which I get because I am afraid of diving. So I will never be one of your lifeguards, Brittany. Well, I won't. So that was really unique part of our tour. And then another unique aspect too is that we actually shot from the islands. And so the manager, Brad Lawrence, said this was the first time he had ever shot a tour where he had to take a little boat over water. And so the quarry team was awesome. They were so into it, and they had fun hiding. You might see little heads hiding some places in the background. But so they did a great job, and we also got some great views of the deck as well, so that people can really take a live tour, or not a live tour, a virtual tour of the quarry and really experience what the quarry looks like. And and there's the parking lot. And it's okay. There you go. And so we're going to be using this in 2018 promotions as well as with Aloha Week in early next year. That will hopefully increase people's interest in the quarry. We get a lot of out-of-towners that see the quarry as a destination, and so I think this will be a way for people to, kind of get interested and understand all the amenities that are offered. And we really lucked out. It was a beautiful day. We got a ton of great still shots as well that we'll be using next year. To move on, and if you guys want to take this tour yourselves, it's on the Hall Quarry Beach page on the district website. So those of you at home, if you're interested in taking the 360-degree tour, just visit bataviaparks.org and check out the Harold Hall Quarry Beach link. Other highlights that I'd like to share with you, as Brittany mentioned, we had a huge success during Aloha Week. Total we sold 2,389 season passes, which is a 34% increase from last year. So that's a huge increase. And then also, as Brittany mentioned, we booked 5 more rentals than 2016. So we had a goal of booking 30 rentals this year, and we booked 32. So we reached that goal as well. And then something else that we really wanted to do this year is Brittany comes up with some really fun, unique merchandise to sell at the quarry every year. And so this year we decided to start tracking those sales so that we could see how those are selling, what the interest is. So this year we sold pump squirters, which were a big highlight at the Wacky Water Olympics, as well as Beach Ball Bonanza. But we also sold Nerf Ball Fun Flingers and lip balm and sunscreen sets. And so definitely a trend of more the fun toy-like things are a big hit. And so next year we're hoping to sell some duck flotation devices that kids can actually float in the water in. So we're really excited about that. So we started tracking those. We sold $690 worth of merchandise this year, and I think we could do better than that if some little advertising and promotion. So another highlight just from the other promotions that we did this year for coupons on deals, Groupon was once again our big hitter with 906 deals sold, which was a huge increase from 746 being sold. However, some of those results are skewed a little bit this year. So Groupon bought out Living Social this summer, and it happened right in the end of June. And so, unfortunately, we had been under the impression that a lot of the information that we had sold already from Living Social was going to kind of transfer nicely over to Groupon. We'd be able to separate the two, and unfortunately, that was not the case in the merger. That was a little chaotic, and so we lost some of that information. So some of the Groupon results may be higher due to it being sold as a Living Social. So just so if you guys are trying to analyze some of that information in the report. But overall, it was a successful deal season, and so we're definitely going to continue Groupon, Planet Cane, and Fox Valley deals for the 2018 season. And yeah, other than that, I think it was a great season. Something I just wanted to share from the survey that we sent out to season pass holders, in which we had 198 season pass holders respond to, so that's a huge success in those numbers. So 93.3% of respondents feel that the season pass is of good value, and 91.3% are overall satisfied with their entire quarry experience. So pretty good.
We've come a long way.
Yes.
Yeah, you know, yeah, to that point, it's funny because if you remember, we had some conversations many years back on the quarry, on open, close, whatever, different changes, and including even no concessions. And I think it's just interesting that the innovation that the staff has put forward has not only brought back the concessions, but expanded it back to more than what it was when people said they didn't want it.
That's great.
And it's, you know, just trying different things. And closing it down was a try. You know, like going to vending machines and stuff was, we're trying to do something and respond to folks, but then bringing all the food back and really expanding that, and then the other things that they're selling up there, just the innovations, I think, are getting people thinking that there's something different that they can continue doing. So kudos to that. It's just, it's fantastic.
Thank you.
I mean, if you remember the conversations that we had for those folks that were here, it was dismal. Some of them were, and now it's a thriving, you know, like you say, destination for a lot of folks. And so it's fantastic.
You know, I always
fantastic.
tell staff we want it to be like Great America. We want people to be curious about what's going to come up next year. You know, something new attraction every year.
Well, I think it's a testament to a dedicated staff who is working to take a facility and maintain relevancy with enormous competition. Right? I mean, let's talk, I mean, it's everywhere. And the nature of the facility really has never changed, right? It's the quality of what you're doing and the opportunities you're creating for people to be with family and not just run around a water park and, you know, jumping down water slides, but it's really an experience. So I want to thank you for that, and also it's reflected, I think, in the continued daily attendance, because, you know, unfortunately, I guess in some ways, I have now been here through every one of these years, and then some. And there were a lot of years where, you know, the park district subsidized heavily the quarry. And that's something, that was a commitment we made to the community when we invested $1 million in the liner. But I'm very, very happy to see that staff has taken the yoke to create an environment that can at least nearly break even. And I never viewed this as a money-making venture. This is truly a community asset. It's a unique amenity to Batavia, right? And that's what the community told us. And so I want to thank each and every one of you, because we put a lot of time into thinking about what we were going to do and how it was going to happen and engaging the community, and you guys executed. So kudos to you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bring the next back.
And actually, we started seeing 5-star audits when Brittany took the helm.
That's awesome.
She's a huge part of the
Congratulations.
culture.
Good
Excellent.
job.
And thank you. Okay, any other comments on that? Thank you again. Next item on the agenda is item 14B, approval of Fox Valley Special Recreation Association amended joint agreement.
Now, there are only 2 changes to this joint agreement. The removal of Fox Valley Park District having 2 representatives serve on the board, and the second was the removal of an assistant secretary position.
Okay.
And that's it.
So I'd entertain a motion to approve the Fox Valley Special Recreation Association's amended joint agreement as presented.
So moved.
Second.
All right. Motion by Dorsey, second by Tillman. Any further discussion?
I'm coming in all fast and everything.
Please call the roll.
Dorsey?
Aye.
Tillman?
Aye.
Riley absent. Gray?
Aye.
Callahan?
Aye, motion carries. Next item on the agenda is 14C, the approval of resolution number 242, estimating the amount of taxes to be levied for the year of 2018. Would you like me to explain this, or do you?
No, that's fine. This is basically a requirement under the truth in taxation laws that gives public notice as to our intent with the levies. Normally, this is an estimate. This is not actually what we anticipate to collect. It's designed to capture the full growth allowed to us under Patel, which is the property tax extension limitation law. We expect the actual proceeds of property taxes to be 2.1% growth, which is based off and limited by CPI.
Correct, and this is, again, an estimate, not what your taxes will be or anything like that. That's all done at the county, and it's all still under the tax cap.
Correct.
So I would entertain a motion to approve resolution number 242, estimating the amount of taxes to be levied for the tax year 2018 as presented.
So moved.
Oh, dang.
Want a second?
Second.
Okay. So motion by Gray, second by Dorsey. Please call the roll.
Gray?
Aye.
Dorsey?
Aye.
Riley absent. Tillman?
Aye.
Callahan?
Aye, motion carries. Next item on the agenda is the annual IAPD member credentials meeting designation. So we need a delegate and at least one alternate, is that correct?
That's correct. Yep, for the annual IAPD meeting, which takes place during the IPRA IAPD State Conference.
Which is usually at the end of the day, or mid-afternoon on Saturday, which in this year is Saturday, January 20th.
And it's the new person does it, right? I sat through it twice, I think. So.
So you
Tom,
fell
I mean,
for
you're
that.
I hope you're going. One, two.
Yeah, Saturday afternoon, January 20th.
Right. It's during, it's
Wait a
during the
minute on
weekend.
my
It's
calendar.
like
During the
work
weekend
conference?
conference.
Okay.
So you'd be down there anyway. That's the plan. All right, so we have one delegate, Thomas Dorsey as the delegate. Any first alternates?
Kevin.
You're throwing him under the bus.
All right.
Just,
So
I need to go on record that I did not suggest the person that's not here, you
He
know.
would do it.
Huh?
He would do it.
I didn't say he wouldn't. I'm just saying I didn't suggest him.
All right, so then I'm going to entertain a motion to appoint Commissioner Dorsey as the designee and Commissioner Riley as the alternate per Commissioner Gray to represent the Batavia Park District as voting members at the annual meeting of the Illinois Association of Park Districts.
So
I could have been the motion on the chair.
Very true.
I'm sorry, who moved?
Dorsey.
Dorsey moved. Gray, you want to take?
Sure,
No,
second.
I seconded
Oh, you seconded?
it.
All
I
right,
seconded it. I got in on it. Yeah.
Shelley, please call the roll.
Dorsey,
Aye.
Tillman,
Aye.
Riley absent, Gray,
Aye.
Aye,
Callahan.
motion carries.
Always pays
Kevin's
to
got
show
one
up
new
at the
rule.
meeting.
I did
yeah.
warn Kevin, I said, if you're not there.
Yeah, you never know.
Gotta show up at the
So,
meeting.
I guess I'd like to, we really don't have any other business, but I'd like to make one comment. Batavia Parks Foundation, if we have any updates, but certainly mention that the Bulldogs Unleashed campaign is well underway, and I want to encourage everyone to consider buying a little bulldog.
I already say those little ones are adorable.
And they're still in
Great.
need of artists to paint them, submit their applications for.
Right. So please do.
Bulldogsunleashed.org.
Seeing no other business to come before the board, I would entertain a motion to
So moved.
adjourn.
Second.
Motion by Tillman, second by Dorsey.
It's gotta be quick.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, we are adjourned. Thank you so much for joining us this month. We look forward to seeing you in November.